What you're about to watch is a special private training session for people who bought a copy of my book, Built to Serve. Enjoy. The theme today was how to network and connect to a mentor. Networking quickly in 2022, I think the easiest way to do it is actually through content. If there's somebody that you want to connect with, I think content is the easiest way to do it, where people will come to be on your show where they otherwise wouldn't talk to you. So you can slowly work your way up and build a network and get known and ask friends and work your way through LinkedIn or wherever to get to the person. But I think the show is the easiest way to do it. What I would do is think about who do you want to talk to? Who do you want to be your mentor? And then look at who they are following on Instagram. And then go and try to get those people on your show. And then you can reach out to that person and say, I just had this person and this person on my show. I'd love to have you on too. Because everybody who you look up to, they're following people who are not huge names. Right? So, I don't know who I'm following. I'm following Tony Robbins. I'm probably following The Rock. Don't go and try to get The Rock. Chris is very happy about that. Don't go try to get The Rock to get to Evan Carmichael. It's probably the other way around. I don't know if he knows who I am. So forget about that. But I'm following other people, right? Like if you messaged me and said, hey, Evan, I've started a new podcast. I've had my previous guest, Mark Elwood, Evan Tintzman, Zan DeMan, and Andrew Murdoch on my channel. It's like, oh, those are 4 pretty awesome people. I know all of them. I'm immediately more likely to want to say yes to you because you've had some of my friends on, and you can find people who are going to be easier to get access to, right? So if you messaged Zan and said, hey, Zan, I'm starting a new show. I'd love to have you on my podcast. Would you come on? Zan's gonna be like, heck yeah, I'm down, right? Boom. And then anybody who follows Zan, including me, is now more likely to say yes because Zan's been on. So that's what I would do. Like whoever you want to be your mentor, look at who they are following, not who follows them, but who are they following, and try to get as many of those people on your show as possible. And then when you have the person on your show, don't turn it into a show where you're asking boring questions that you think the audience cares about. Turn it into a mentoring session where you have them on and you say, hey, I'm struggling with X. What should I do? And that becomes the show. Or I think for most people, they're asking the questions they think their audience cares about, and it ends up being a lot less effective. Today is my public facing day, so it's all day interviews, and it's like I just came from one, going to the one after this, so it's hectic energy. But I can't tell you how often it happens that the person asked me, we spend 25 minutes together. They asked me all the same questions that everybody else asked me. They use the same intro that everybody else uses, and then thank you so much, Evan. Final words, great. Where can people find you? Awesome. Close the show. I was like, hey, Evan, I got one last question. That's for me on how do I, it's like, that should have been what you led with. Like we could have talked about that for 25 minutes instead of the boring stuff you asked me. Now, I don't say that in as a blunt a term most of the time, but that concept is like, whatever if you're having somebody on, you really want to get a specific message out of them for you. What is that? Because chances are your audience will care about it as well. And if you don't have a show, then you start a show around it. I think it's the easiest way to get a hold of anybody's attention in 2022. It's what I am doing. It's what I would do. I have Tony Robbins coming up next week. I'm doing an interview with him. It's the 3rd time he's been on the channel. And I don't, I know Tony, but I don't know. I can't text Tony and say, hey, Tony, I'm really struggling with this thing. Can you help me? Right? I don't know him. Fortunately, a bunch of people I do know that well now, but I don't know Tony that well, right? So he's got a new book out called Lifespan, talking about extending human life. So I'm not gonna ask him the usual, Tony, why did you write this book? Tony, what are you most proud of from this book? Tony, why now on this book? Like if I ask him those 3 questions, that's what everybody's asking him. And then my 25 minutes is done because he's going to go on his amazing answers, but the same answers he gives everybody else. So I'm going to ask him, hey, Tony, here's what I'm struggling with. What do you think about this? And so questions that I actually deeply care about. And so I'm getting mentored by Tony Robbins. Okay. Anyway, so that's my hot take. Networking in 2022. let's turn it over to you guys. I see Lydia's got her hand up. So what do we got, Lydia?
Good morning. I've got two questions. I watched a video you did with Pablo the other day, and I believe Zan had mentioned this earlier about your name, your channel, your name and your channel, and you're the brand. And so I'm needing to flip into that place because my brand was not my name, and it has been my persona. Okay. Right. So I'm trying to flip it. And I want to know, right now it's Common Sense Mamita. And I am, and so in watching your video, I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's Lydia Nicole is Common Sense Mamita, or is it Lydia Nicole? And then everything that I have like close to 700 videos with Common Sense Mamita on it. I'm just trying to figure out how to bridge that right now.
So I honestly wouldn't overthink it. The way that I would process that is, imagine you. So now you're, 20 years later, we're in 2042. Are you still the Common Sense Mamita?
Yes, I'm always going to be the Common Sense Mamita because I think I have common sense.
Great. Well, great. But are you always going to be a mamita? Is that always like going to resonate with you?
Yes, I think so.
Then keep it. Then it's fine. Then you build the brand as the Common Sense Mamita. I think the problem is for a lot of people is like, oh no, I don't know if I want to stick with it for that long. And then it's easier to build a personal brand off your name because you can switch it to whatever you want it to be. Because I'm always an evolution of Evan Carmichael. Okay.
So then my next question is the part 2 of this. I've been noticing on your channel and other big YouTubers, they will have channels within their channel, right? So you have your best of in Evan Carmichael.
So until you get to daily content, I wouldn't worry about splitting up channels, or if it's just a totally different audience.
Well, what I'm thinking of, because I also do prayers, and I've lost a couple of people in doing the prayers, and I am wondering if I just slide it into another channel.
If it's a different enough audience, then yes. But usually the answer is keep it on the same thing. Okay. Because at the end of the day, the people who are watching Common Sense Mamita, what do you want them to feel at the end of watching one of your videos?
I want them invigorated. I want them encouraged, and I want them motivated to do something.
What an answer. I love it. Let's go. Okay, great. When somebody is finished watching a prayer video, how do you want them to feel?
I want them to feel like they can conquer the world.
So it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's the same channel.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Okay. Right? Yeah.
If you were off to go make, a cooking channel or something, and it's just completely different. It's like, oh, I want people to learn how to know how to cook a quiche because people don't know how to make quiches and it's all wrong. Great. That's just totally different inspiration. So that's your job, though, is now inside of every video, make people feel encouraged, motivated, inspired, ready to conquer the world. Whether it's a prayer, like even if you go into your prayer with that intention, the prayer will come out differently. Even the same words, like if you're repeating "Our Father who art in heaven," like the emotion behind you saying the words will adjust. If you're going with the intention to say, I want people to believe in themselves, or I want people to love themselves, or I want people to feel encouraged and inspired, right? It's gonna be a different vibe. Mm-hmm. So yeah, as long as it's the same emotion, same channel.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Cool. You got it. If you want to get a copy of Built to Serve and join us live for our next training with me to ask your questions, you can go get the book right there next to me, right there. I'll see you there. I'll see you to get the book. It's a good one. Much love.